Recently we saw the Pirate King in his prime fighting. Yes, the Pirate King, and he also shares something with also Whitebeard, another man in his prime fighting. And Roxy Zebek also was carrying something that all the two of these guys were also carrying. We can also say Silver's Rayleigh, Kozuki Odin the GOAT, Red Hair Shanks, Kaido, and of course Big Mom. We're seeing that in Wano in full-fledged form. Also Law, Kid, Zoro, and Killer all on the rooftop are also share common with these other characters. But Luffy's different in a sense where he's similar to his grandfather. It's straight hands, yo. No weapons. Yes, I was talking about weapons. Luffy and Garp are significant characters in the One Piece story that are just straight combat with their fist, yo. The fist of love. You guys all know what I'm talking about. And we saw that firsthand when it comes to Luffy using that red rock. It had Eustace Kid shook. He was tripping. Like, he hurt Kaido with just his hands. Like, that was definitely an epic moment by Luffy. And low-key is a flex. But I truly believe Garp is on an insane level. Like, that red rock is nothing to Garp, in my personal opinion. You know, Garp, when it comes to his prime, his advanced haki, to fight with his fist, his advanced haki has to be through the roof. Like, think about it, he has no delver ability. Luffy he fights with his hands, but he still has that Gomu Gomu no Mi to assist him. Garp has just his straight fist of love. So I definitely want to say his haki has to be insane. That's what today's video is going to be about. Enter Monkey D Garp. We're going to examine his haki. But before we examine his haki, make sure you guys examine that subscribe button. Yes, hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes. That'll be a big goal. And turn on notification because I got a crazy video, a double uploads happening, guys. Yes, 2 videos in 1 day. So make sure you gotta turn on notifications so you don't miss that video dropping. It's gonna be, how do I say this, very, very funny. Now, you guys might think I'm crazy to mention the Revolutionaries top guys in a video that's pretty much discussing Monkey D Garp, but it has to be mentioned. Sabo, we saw him use advanced haki in Dressrosa, who's trained by Monkey D Dragon, that Dragon Claw greatness. Like, the fact that Sabo used Dragon Claw and it was like advanced haki pretty much confirms that Monkey D Dragon's advanced haki has to be insane. Now think about it. That's Garp's son. Yes, that's Garp's son, the hero of the Marines. The fact that Garp's son has mastered advanced haki and application of it, let's be honest, he probably learned it from his father, Monkey D Garp. And I truly believe that Garp was in Dragon's life growing up, unlike how Dragon is not in Luffy's life. So I definitely want to say we're going to see a flashback of Garp in his prime, while also Dragon growing up, seeing Garp in his prime, because Dragon was born when Garp was around, I think, 23 years old. So definitely when Garp was around like mid-30s, Dragon was like in 12, 13, 14. So interesting stuff. Now, a feat that rarely gets mentioned when discussing Monkey D Garp and Haki is the fact that he one-shotted Don Chinjao in his prime, a man of 500 million berries, with no delver ability, just his Haki ability when it comes to the top of his head, that drill. And he broke Don Chinjao's pretty much treasure when it comes to his drill, and Don Chinjao was never able to get his treasure. But that just shows you how insane Garp's Haki was, because the fact that he one-shotted Don Chinjao, like, it wasn't a high different mid diff, he one-shotted him, is truly remarkable. And another thing, we're seeing Marco the Phoenix in Wano take on 2 guys with billion-berry bounties when it comes to King and Queen. Like, we've seen Jack go crazy, but to see King and Queen get taken on by one man who's not an admiral or a Yonko, just Marco the Phoenix. We know Marco has the hype with the Gorosei, saying that he could also take down Blackbeard. Of course, he lost that battle in the Payback War, but still, Marco's a hype character, and we're seeing that in Wano. So the fact that in Marineford, an old age Garp sent Marco flying, like, we're seeing King cutting Marco's wings and he's not feeling any of the effects. Yes, Marco's getting damaged a little bit and exhausted, but what Garp did to Marco, like, that was significant damage. The only significant damage equal or even more was Kizaru, but Marco was cuffed up with the Sea Stone. So Marco with no Sea Stone getting that much damage from Garp just shows you his haki has to be through the roof, no pun intended, to the rooftop. And also think about it, guys, half of Marineford was destroyed. And it makes sense. Shiki's Delphi ability has to do with floating. Like, he was floating islands in his movie. And of course, like, the fact that it's floating, his DC has to be insane. Same with Sengoku. He has a mythical zone that does shockwaves. He was going up against Blackbeard as soon as he got the Quake fruit. So Sengoku and Shiki have destructive capability that's insane because of their Delphi ability. But Garp is just straight hand. So the fact that half of Marineford destroyed in that battle shows you that Garp was like, his fists have to be insane, and that also looks at his Haki. Now, of course, Garp got the credit of taking down Rocksteady Zebek, Roger's most formidable enemy, and he teamed up with Goldie Roger, the Pirate King, in their young age. The fact that this happened just shows you that Garp was going up against Rocks with Roger, and Roger had his sword, Rocks most likely had his sword, and Garp had his hand. So Garp had to be doing some next level Haki stuff, and I definitely believe the fact that Kozuki Oden was talking about not touching when it comes to Whitebeard and Roger clashing. Man, Garp was not touching Rocks at all and still giving them the damage. Speaking of Roger though, we just saw him in action and he destroyed Kozuki Oden with that divine departure. Man, oh man, it was an insane moment. Oden wanted more, but still, that was in right after clashing with a prime Whitebeard and going up against prime Whitebeard with the Quake fruit ability. Like, think about it, that the fact that Garp was fighting on the same level as that man, like Garp and Roger almost killed each other so many times. Roger respects Garp as like a crew member. Just shows you like Garp was like pretty much on the same level as prime Whitebeard, a guy with the Quake fruit, also his weapon, and Garp just had his hands. What I'm trying to say is the fact that Garp just had his fist makes him elite to another level, guys, and it goes back to the same concept, advanced Haki. When it comes to advanced Haki, I truly believe Garp has both the advanced Haki 1, that invisible armor we saw Rayleigh, Sentamaru, the admirals all do pre-time skip, and of course I'm talking about that also the invisible armor when it comes to advanced Haki 2 that Hyoguro talked about, like Rayleigh taking the cuffs off Kami, and Luffy of course taking the cuffs off Yamato, and Luffy with the red rock. That advanced Haki 2 truly is what makes him insane. I think Garp has that. The fact people always mention how Kaido didn't put Garp with those elite characters. He put Kozuki Oden, he put Shanks with Whitebeard, Roger, and Rocks, but it doesn't matter because Garp fought Rocks, and Rocks had Whitebeard under him, Kaido under him, and he teamed up with Roger. So Garp is already elite when it comes to that. Kaido talking about pirates when it comes to rank comparing Luffy, and Luffy's a pirate, so he's not going to compare Luffy to of course Marines. And I also do want to say this, he's probably gonna have a moment when fighting Luffy saying, just like your grandfather Garp, who took out my captain. Like, he's gonna hype up Garp in this battle, guys. Don't get me wrong, Garp is really connected to Kaido through Rock, so that's just something I thought of. And I do want to say this, the fact that he was breaking his mountains with his fist, I believe that Garp is going to introduce a new type of advanced Haki. We already know there's been hints of Voice of All Things being an advanced Osphage Haki, just like Future Sight. I truly believe there's going to bring another application of advanced Haki that's going to be highlighted through Garp, because he's no Duffler ability, just straight fisticuffs. So that's going to bring his destructive capability to a whole nother level, and I think Luffy will obtain this new advanced Haki, not right now but near the end of the story. I do want to say this, we're seeing similarities when it comes to the Pacifista that Luffy hit with regular Haki, and then of course advanced Haki 2, that Red Rock to Kaido. I could truly see a moment where regular Haki was right as a time skip, advanced Haki 2 was right after the time skip in between Wano and Onigashima, and advanced Haki 3, which is the most advanced of all armored Hakis, the most insane one when it comes to DC, that Garp I believe had and obtained. I think Luffy will use that against Kurohige, Blackbeard, Marshall, DT is the final villain. That's just my thoughts, but I do believe that Garp has a secret Haki. Yes, I think he has the strongest advanced Haki that has not been shown yet, that Roger, Whitebeard, Rocks all had. I think these four characters, Garp, Whitebeard, Roger, and Rocks all had this Haki, and I think Luffy will have to obtain this Haki, and Blackbeard might even obtain it too. Blackbeard against that Haki, that just makes that final fight even more difficult. And I do also want to say this, Garp needs more respect. A lot of people are disrespecting Garp in his old age, but truly, he's still a monster. But that's just me hyping up the hero of the Marines. I want to hear all you guys' thoughts when it comes to Garp. I love reading you guys' comments and seeing your guys' opinion on Garp as a character. And just One Piece is, I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to drop some crazy One Piece videos to end off March. So, like I said, turn on notification, like and share if you enjoyed, like it your own if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more One Piece content. I'm the LegendMac, and I'm gone.